We have worked really hard. I cannot wait to show you my dining room makeover, just not quite yet. Okay, I am so excited today because we are going to be doing a makeover on my dining room. It's one of the few remaining rooms in my main area that needs a little love. I mean, we did do the table not last year, but first what we're going to do is just start clearing it out and getting kind of a blank canvas. We're not doing any major renovations this time. I did consider doing some batten board, but I've got a brand new Hutch coming in and all of that. You know, it's gonna cover up a lot of that wall space, so we're gonna do it without doing a trim treatment. Hopefully it will be a very big impact, and the chairs are getting a little mini makeover as well. We'll discuss that in just a second. So let's start by clearing it all out. All right, so I've got a licensed electrician here, and we are going to switch out this light fixture, and then we're going to add two really beautiful pendant lights over the bar. I'm so excited. I'll let him get to work. So we got our light fixtures installed and they are so pretty. I love the way they look. They kind of have, at least the pendants have kind of like an industrial vibe, but then they've been added with the crystals and it's such a pretty look. I just love it. And then I decided that this chandelier needed to be kind of on a dimmer because I put daylight bulbs in. I really love daylight bulbs because it's such a clean light. It's not yellowy, it's just fresh and pure, but it gets a little bright, and so I wanted to kind of dim it in the evening. So I went over and I switched out the light switch to just a dimming switch. It's not too terribly hard. I can link the tutorial that I followed in the description box below because I'm not an electrician, so I will just provide that. But basically you want to make sure you have all the right tools. Make sure you have something that you can test whether the lines are hot or not. Make sure you shut off the power when you're working with it and just be very, very safe. It's really important to always keep safety in mind, but I just love my light fixtures. Think that they are so pretty. So now it's time to move kind of onto some of the bigger scale items in the room furniture. Now I've decided to keep my table for now, even though I have an issue, which I'll share with you a little bit later, that's kind of driven me crazy the entire time, because I got rid of the mission style lightweight console that has been here since we purchased the home. I didn't pick it out. It's not my style. It was a little bit too lightweight for the area, and we really need to balance this room out because on this side of the room, that is where my fireplace wall is with all the built-in bookcases. It's beautiful. It's one of my most proud projects that I've ever done. If you haven't seen that episode, I'll link that below. But now we've got a lot of weight on this side of the room and no weight on this side of the room, so we're a little out of balance and we kind of need to balance it back out. So my idea for that is to find a China Hutch for this wall. I really have my eye on one by Ethan Allen that is beautiful and also close to $7,000, which is totally out of the budget. I'm not spending $7,000 on a China Hutch. That would be a little painful. So what I've decided to do is try to find one through thrifting or Facebook Marketplace. I've got my eye on a few on Facebook Marketplace, but I also want to go thrifting and see what I can find there because you usually can maybe find a little bit better deal if you go thrifting. So that's what my plan is and that's what I'm gonna do. So let's go see what we can find. This China Hutch is perfect for the space that I'm working with. It's also design-wise perfect, and I cannot believe we found it in the first store, so we are gonna totally snag this. What a score was this? 80 bucks at the Goodwill Superstore in Lakeland. It's very little is that you go right into a thrift store and find the perfect thing on the first try. We got super lucky. So the one thing about this China Hutch is it didn't come with shelves. I've got an easy fix for that, so we're gonna solve that. And then also it's missing a couple of pieces of hardware, so I've ordered some new stuff, but we will get this looking brand spanking new. And even though we're gonna have to invest a little bit more money into it, it will still be just an awesome deal. I'm really excited about it. The grid is a little bit different than the Ethan Allen one, but the overall like look and feel of it is very close. And I think with the paint job, we will get it even closer. And we are gonna tackle it by first giving it a good scrub down. We're gonna clean it really, really good. I'm excited. Let's get going. And then once this is done, we can move on to some other elements. I might have found another thrifted or Facebook find that you'll get to see in a little bit, and I am excited to share it with you because they are amazing. That was super dirty. That took me about an hour to clean it very thoroughly. I used a mixture of soap and water and a little bit of vinegar, and then I cleaned all of the glass. I just wanted to make sure it was super clean before we painted it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Now there's a couple of little repairs that we're gonna make. It's missing some moldings in a couple of places. I couldn't match it up exactly, but we're gonna do the best we can, and I honestly don't think you'll notice in the end. I popped off this piece from that side, and the reason I did that is because we're missing a piece on this side, and this is the dominant side. So we're gonna make sure all of those match. I'm gonna just hot glue this into place kind of on either side because I don't want it to be permanent in case we take this to another home someday and the dominant side is this, then I'll just kind of flip-flop them, if that makes sense. And then I don't know if you can notice right here, but there's a little piece of trim missing there. And we are going to use some of that same molding and patch that up. So hopefully you can't tell once it's all painted up. It's that time. We're gonna start on the inside. Let's paint. How much brighter is this looking? I am loving it so far, and it's just the primer. So while the primer is drying, we are gonna be working on the shelves. As I mentioned that it didn't come with shelves, so I've got a little fix for you. I'm holding the DIY dolly because it involves an iron, and she is terrified of iron, so if you hear her bark in the background, that is why. So what we've got going here is I picked up she really does not like irons. All right, so we've got some plywood that I had cut down at the home improvement store just to make it easier on me. I do have a table saw, but it's a 1/2 inch thick, and you can see that it has kind of this ugly edging. So we're gonna fix that right now. So I've never done this before, but we're gonna do it together. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put some edge banding on these shelves on the front, and you can actually see that it's gonna be too thick. And so we're gonna just iron this on, and then I have a special trimmer that will trim it off when it's nice and cool. It's been a long day. I've been working on this piece for about 10 hours so far, and it's not quite done. And it actually looks a little like a hot mess right now. I've got paint all over the glass. I intentionally did that because I know I can go back in and kind of just scrape it off with a blade. There might be just a couple of areas that I want to touch up tomorrow. So it's the next morning, and I'm really happy with the finish of the hutch. What we're gonna do is scrape it all clean, get the edges cleaned up. We're going to install the shelves. I'm excited with how it's turning out. Let's finish it up. To finish out our hutch, I attached all the hardware. Some of it's the original, some of it's the old. Since it was mix and match, it didn't all quite match exactly correct. So I took some gold leaf rub and buff and kind of touched up all of the hardware, especially where we had maybe gotten some paint on it. I ended up getting a little bit of gold leaf on the cabinet, which I touched up, painted that. So in the end, the China Hutch took about 3 times as long as I thought it would. I'm constantly doing that. I'm miscalculating how long it's actually gonna take. But in the end, I absolutely am thrilled with how it looks. It really echoes the one of Ethan Allen without the hefty price tag. I have about $150 into this, all said, paint, hardware, supplies, all of that, and I'm thrilled. So now with this done, we can move on to other elements like my chairs. Hang on. Let's talk about the chairs. About 1.5 years ago, I had delusions of grandeur, had temporary insanity, forgot that I had 2 little boys still at home, and I went with white. I mean, actually, all things considered, they held up okay, but they are looking really shabby. I could try to clean them and all of that, but I just know that it's gonna be really high maintenance, so I got some new fabric. We are going to recover them. It's gonna look like kind of a blue velvet, but actually it's polyester and it washes up really good. It's kind of like a microfiber type product. We're gonna recover all of these cushions. Now these, again, if you missed this episode, are authentic Pottery Barn chairs that were in rough shape that we kind of painted and put on the new cushion covers. We're gonna repeat the cushion covers. So you've been watching my channel for a while and have been wondering how these held up. They did okay, but they're looking pretty bad. And we're gonna also make my bar stools coordinate with the same fabric. And then I've got a fun little find for some captain's chairs I cannot wait to share with you because they were the steal of the century and I'm excited. So let's upholster. So we're gonna just go ahead, reupholster a seat. It's super easy to do.
Speechless, I'm sleepless, so alone in this stillness. Oh.
You kind of just staple north, south, east, west, from the middle to the edges. And you fold the edges like a present and staple that all on really good. We're gonna do all of those.
Let's enjoy the ride. Let's just live a life. Let's just live a life.
This makeover has taken way too long. It's just a busy time of year. It's just the way it's gonna be. But we are finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel. It's time to put down our rug. I actually have 2 options because I couldn't make up my mind and I wanted to see it in the room. So we're gonna roll them both out and hopefully make the right choice. And I have a feeling Dolly will come let me know which one she likes, but hopefully it won't be because she's marked it. So let's try option A. Okay, don't mind the overly large rug pad. We will cut that down. But this is option A, and this one has a little bit of like blue and teal in it. Kind of has a pattern. Kind of debating. What do you think, Dolly? Is this one a winner? Do we like this one? Oh, she's rolling on it. She likes it. This is option 2, and it is slightly larger. And I'm just gonna roll it on top of this one until we make a decision. All right, Dolly, what do you think of this one? Actually, I really like this because it's kind of neutral like the one in the living room. It's slightly larger. I don't know. It's such a tough call. All right, we have worked so hard. It's time to reveal my dining room makeover. Let me show you. I am thrilled with the final results of the dining room makeover, and now it's time to give you a tour. Okay, these chairs were the score of the century. These are authentic Restoration Hardware wingback captain's chairs. I have been eyeing these for years. They were just simply so expensive. I was able to get them for about 30% of the original cost because I found them on Facebook Marketplace and somebody had bought them new and never used them and were willing to just get rid of them at a discount. I was just totally thrilled. I love these. It's really interesting because the fabric is linen, but it really coordinates with the sectional that is right over here. It's such a good match, and I just love these. I really feel like it gives this dining room some presence, a sense of formality for an otherwise pretty informal dining room because I don't have a dedicated dining room. This is kind of breakfast nook and kind of like an open concept. And so having this and a lot of the other stuff that we put in it kind of gave it a formal feel, even though it's not its own dedicated space. We also got this thrifted China Hutch that we kind of emulated that Ethan Allen inspiration piece. The Ethan Allen piece was about almost $7,000 if you included taxes. Mine was just under $150. I feel like it has a similar impact. It's gorgeous, I love it, and you can see it with all of my white dishes. It's beautiful, it's bright, it's formal, it's elegant. I love it. Then what we did on either side, on the right side of the hutch, I did some digital prints off of Etsy. I will link those, the ones that I used, in the description box below, but I just printed them out at Walgreens using a coupon. They were like $8 a piece, and then I got a couple of these gold frames from, I believe it was Michael's, and just put them in there. And then of course, above the hutch, we've got the Happiness is Homemade sign that I made in a previous episode, as well as the olive topiary, and then I just threw another one up there to kind of balance it out a little bit. So I was kind of working with what I had, and I really love that. Oh, and before we go too much further, I cannot miss this gorgeous chandelier. It's amazing. I love it. I had an electrician come and hang it for me. I got this off of Amazon. I will link it in the description box. It's gorgeous. It's larger than the one I had before. It's also black, and I'm really glad that I switched that out. It just really is very classy and hopefully a little French country. And then on the left-hand side of the hutch, I was able to find this really beautiful kind of vintage inspired mirror from Hobby Lobby, which I will also link, but it is a beautiful piece, and it kind of balances out the stuff on the right-hand side without being super matchy-matchy. And I also feel like it will help to reflect some of the light. I'm always constantly trying to bring in more light into the space. And then on my dining table, of course, the beautiful captain's chairs that are flanking either side, gorgeous. These are real authentic Pottery Barn dining chairs that you see here, and I put my 2 extra ones in the background here. And then as far as the centerpiece, this is one that I just threw together. I had this cement little bowl that I got at Michael's, and it's beautiful. I just used the tape method and just did an assortment of white peonies and white snowball flowers and put that together. And then I've got these beautiful gold candlesticks at Home Goods. They are a Martha Stewart collection. I'll try to find them if I can and link them. And then I got the blue candles at Hobby Lobby for $1.29 a piece, a super bargain. And I love that it brings just that hint of blue. And then ultimately I did go with the rug that had the blue in it. And the reason is I felt like it was a little bit more appropriate size-wise for this space. It did pull down a little bit of that blue, and I just felt like it was really elegant. Plus, I really loved that cheetah one. It's not gonna go anywhere because I am really thinking that I like it a little bit more than what I have in my living room. So it may make an appearance in the space just over there, and I might put it there. So we'll see what happens with that. But I couldn't be more thrilled with the end result of this dining room makeover. I love it. I love it so much. I'm excited, and I hope you do too. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button right here. It's super easy to do, and I would love it if you joined the DIY Niner family. And to all of my DIY Niners, I just want to remind you that you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.